Hello, Chris. Oh, sorry, who's that? Chris's PA? I didn't know Chris had a PA. When did he get a PA? When he reached 10,000 subscribers? No, I didn't realise he's kind of a big deal now. Listen, I was just hoping to speak to him because I want to do a video that's similar to one that he's done before. So, if you could just see if he could have a chat. You'll see if he can spare a minute. Thank you. He's not. He doesn't want to talk to me. He said what? Sorry. He doesn't care because he's better than that now. Okay. I guess he won't mind if I do the video then. Cool. Cheers. Thanks. Bye. Word to your mother. My name's Steve. This channel is FRAG30 and thank you for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate it. Today's video is going to be a review of Coach for Men Platinum. Once I finish reviewing it, I'm going to talk about how it compares to Dior Sauvage, and that's going to be the EDP version. Now, before all the little FragCon geeks chip in with their comments...
Actually, I think you'll find Chris at Fragmental released the exact same content in a video on the 2nd of September 2018. And the video lasted 4 minutes 57 seconds. Wasn't his best work, but pretty adequate.
I know that Chris at Fragmental has done basically the same video, okay? I did kind of run this past Chris and he was cool with it. He was not bothered, so we've not got another kind of fragrance runner, Jeremy Fragrance situation on the go here, so don't panic, okay? So why am I doing this then? Two reasons really. So the first reason is a good few weeks ago I did a review of the best Dior Sauvage clones, and while talking about those clones I kind of put them on a spectrum of the Dior Sauvage DNA and the sort of smoothness of it and sophistication, and like I said, one was a bit harsher, this was a bit smoother, and basically this got mentioned. So I sort of put this at the further end of the spectrum, saying this was a bit more sophisticated, a bit smoother and a bit classier. So I just wanted to kind of go full circle and come back and elaborate on that a little bit more and talk about it. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. The second reason I'm doing this vid, even though Chris at Fragmental has done it, and I promise I'm not going to keep comparing my video to his or kind of keep referencing him, but the reason I'm also doing the same video is because I've got quite a different opinion on this fragrance to Chris. Now, I think that comes down to, it's probably indicative of our different relationships with Dior Sauvage. Chris is quite a big fan of Dior Sauvage, I'm not really, so by comparing that and kind of as that as a reference point and a yardstick, I think we've come at it at different angles and we've got different opinions on this fragrance. So that was another reason why I thought it's kind of worth me doing my take on it as well. So there's no right or wrong, but if there is, Chris has got more subscribers than me, so he's probably right. But anyway, I'm going to share this and you might agree with me, you might disagree. It's all, fun and it's all a matter of opinion. And I've said it before, opinions are like arseholes, everybody's got one. And today I'm going to share mine with you. My opinion, that is, not my arsehole. My arsehole is strictly for paying Patreon subscribers only, okay? So there's no free arsehole on this channel. You've got to pay for that shit. I'm not giving it away. So just FYI. So Coach for Men Platinum then. So why am I reviewing it? How did I come about it? What is my relationship thus far with this? So, as most of you know, I predominantly kind of talk about and review affordable fragrances. Now this has recently kind of fallen into that bracket. When it first came out, it was quite a lot of money, but now you can pick this, I've got this 65ml and you can get this for about £35 in the UK. So it's certainly affordable, so that's one reason why it's on the channel. Now how did I kind of end up buying it? It started a couple of months ago when, in true cliche fucking idiot fashion, I missed my plane at the airport and I had lots of time to kill, so I had lots of fragrances to smell. During the couple of hours that I had to kill at the airport, I was constantly kind of smelling strips, and I'm sure you're out there. Normally when I do it, I always kind of forget which one's which. I don't write it down. I find the best fragrance in the history of the world on a test strip in my pocket, and I haven't got a fucking clue what it is. So that didn't happen this time because I had the foresight to write down Platinum, Coach Platinum on the strip. So for the rest of my time at the airport, I kept smelling test strips, and this sort of developed, and I just kept finding that the test strip was really pleasant. I was really enjoying it. And I just thought that's sort of quite addictive. I mean, it wasn't a game changer, but I just was really enjoying the fragrance. So I decided that I'd try and keep an eye out, and I did. And I saw this, I got some sort of discount code on it. I managed to get it for about £35. But since then, I've seen it at a few places for about the £35 mark for the 60ml. So it is certainly affordable now, and I picked it up. I got it delivered, I don't know, a week or two ago. So when this arrived, I first sprayed this. I think this is clear. And I should say that the sprayer is not brilliant. I'm not a huge fan, if I'm honest. It's a bit shit. It has got this twisty lock mechanism, but it's just a bit, it's not a consistent, nice kind of spray, I don't think. But anyway, and when I first sprayed it, I thought that's nice. And then it started getting, basically, I thought, shit, that's a lot closer to Dior Sauvage than I remember. And those of you that know, I'm not a huge fan of Dior Sauvage. So I was initially a bit gutted, but I've worn it a bit more, I've done a bit more testing, and I can report things are good. So here's what I get from this fragrance. When you first spray this, straight away, when you first spray, you can pretty much go straight in. I don't get too much alcohol. And you get that lovely, fresh, fruity opening. There's blackcurrant in there, but I get quite a lot of pineapple, but it's not an Aventus pineapple. It's just a really nice, there is peppers in there, and a lot of people talk about how sort of spicy it is, but I don't think it's that spicy, if I'm honest. But I just get this lovely kind of sweet, slightly spicy, fruity opening, which is really pleasant. Then, about 5 to 10 minutes in, it then becomes more like Dior Sauvage, okay? And that's when I was thinking, initially when I first tried it, shit. And I was a bit gutted, if I'm honest. But then, about, I don't know, not long after that, another 5 minutes or so, hallelujah. Hallelujah! The vanilla comes in. Now, those of you that know me know that I've got a funny relationship with vanilla. It's a note that appears in some of my favourite fragrances. Noir Extreme by Tom Ford, Stronger With You. I really like Tobacco Vanille. There's lots of my favourite fragrances have vanilla in them. And I love it when the vanilla gives just a nice sweet, creamy note to it. And that's exactly what it does to this. What I don't like is when vanilla is kind of too strong or too synthetic, like it is in a Marth Magnificent, or what else have I tried recently where it's just too much kind of vanilla. Perfume Parlour's version of Stronger With You, I found that the vanilla was a bit too synthetic and a bit too strong. So yeah, vanilla is a funny one for me, but amazingly, vanilla for me is the saving grace to this. So you get that lovely fruity opening right at the top, like really like first impressions, and then that kind of goes away, and then the sort of cashmerein starts coming in. Now the cashmerein basically is what makes it smell like Dior Sauvage. So Dior Sauvage has ambroxan in it.
Actually, I think you'll find that ambroxan is merely the brand name. The correct formulaic name is ambroxide. Some people.
Now, ambroxan, the cashmerein in this and the ambroxan in Dior Sauvage basically have the same effect. They give this kind of synthetic, kind of powderiness to it. And it's not, that's my sort of least favourite stage of this, is when it's most like it's Dior Sauvage. But then, as I say, not long after that, the vanilla starts kicking in, and then a little bit further down you start getting this lovely creamy vanilla leathery mixture, which I really like. Now, is this kind of mass appealing? Yes. Is this a groundbreaker? Or, you know, no, it's not. It is a really safe, signature scent worthy fragrance, okay? But what I would say is it's quite an addictive scent. As I say, with that test strip, when I kept smelling it, I just kept finding it really nice and really pleasant and sort of almost a little bit addictive. I kept wanting to smell it, and that's the same with it, with this on the dry down. Now, I'm not going to mention that other reviewer that I mentioned at the start, but he really liked the opening, right, and he didn't like the dry down so much, said it lost some of the magic. For me, I like the very opening, then it goes for that dodgy, well, slight dodgy stage where it smells like Dior Sauvage, and then the vanilla and the leather comes in and it sort of goes in a different direction for me. So it's definitely a different fragrance to Dior Sauvage. Now, here's the thing. People that say this is a copy of Dior Sauvage is bollocks. People that say this is a completely different fragrance and smells nothing like Dior Sauvage, it's bollocks, okay? It does smell, it does have some similarities, but it does go in a different direction. Once that vanilla and the leather kind of come through, it goes in a different direction and you'll get like a more mature, smoother, sophisticated version, a sort of creamier version of Dior Sauvage. That's what you get. And I really, really enjoy it. I did some side-by-side testing, as I mentioned right at the start of the video. So I got, I don't own Dior Sauvage. I did that video a few weeks ago, and I compared some of those clones to the EDT, but I've also got a sample from fragrancesamplesuk.com of the EDP of Dior Sauvage. And I did some testing wearing this on one arm, this on the other arm. Now, what I would say, to me, personally, this just is more sophisticated and less generic, personally. I find, what I will say, I will confess, the Dior Sauvage EDP I do prefer to the EDT. I think it's noticeable, I think it's a bit smoother and a bit richer, and I do prefer it to the EDT, and that's something else I've learned from this video. But I did spray this on earlier. I've got various states of dry down on my arm. The Dior Sauvage is just a lot more generic to me. It is probably fresher, it's got more of a pop to it, it's a bit sharper, but that also means it's a little bit more, it's a bit harsher to me. And as I say, it is more generic. I got my wife to smell both arms. She liked the Coach for Men Platinum more. She said the Dior Sauvage smelled like a hotel shower gel. So she couldn't have put it more poetically, to be fair. So to come back and summarise then, what do you get from this? You'll get a lovely fruity opening that doesn't last that long. It then goes through 5 to 10 minutes of smelling at its most like the Dior Sauvage, probably the EDP more than the EDT. But once that vanilla starts kicking in, you'll just get a more mature, more sophisticated, smoother version of Dior Sauvage, and it's a lot creamier because of that vanilla, and that leather as well adds a nice kind of note to it. So, does it smell similar to Dior Sauvage? Yes. Is it a copy? No. It goes in its own direction, and personally I think it's worth a smell. If you like Dior Sauvage and you're a fan of it, it's worth smelling this as well, because it definitely goes in a different direction. If you don't like Dior Sauvage like me, it's still worth smelling it, because it's a better version, I think, personally. But it's all opinions. Performance-wise, obviously there's no doubt Dior Sauvage does outperform it. I'm not going to deny that. I wore them side by side, and yeah, I got better projection and better longevity from Dior Sauvage. Platinum, I got about 2 hours. I got the first hour, I got really good projection. The next hour was okay, and then I got about 5 to 6 hours longevity. So it's not brilliant, I will confess. It does wear quite close, but in that first hour you will get some really good projection. I sprayed this on my hand once, walked into the kitchen, and my wife could smell it straight away from one spray. And then once I wore it, I put it on quite fresh, went downstairs, and my wife said, wow, that's actually quite overpowering. So, and I didn't put that many sprays on. So the first hour, this will get decent projection, but it does die down and start wearing a lot closer. So that's it, that's my view, thoughts, opinions on Platinum for Men from Coach Platinum. Thank you for watching. Do please let me know what you think. How does it compare? Which do you prefer? And also, how does it compare to the original coach? I've not smelt the original coach. I was thinking about doing a blind buy on it, but then I read a lot about the poor performance and that put me off. But let me know what you think. Thank you for watching, I do appreciate it, and I will see you for the next one. Much love.